Selling a business is not an easy thing to do, never has been, never will be, but there are certain definitive, specific steps that can be taken that greatly maximize the odds of getting a good outcome. I'm Arthur Petropoulos, Managing Partner here at Hillview Partners. We're a middle market, low middle market, M&A and capital advisory firm, helping companies generating $1 million to $10 million a year, pre-tax earnings or EBITDA, sell their companies, and secure capital. So today's video, I want to go over 5 steps we like to think of as the effective way of selling businesses. And we've done this over 100 times in our current iteration, many more times in my prior careers and the careers of all the people in our firm. We can say over our time of doing this, we've been able to chisel out a very specific path of how to sell a business that works, that gets the results. I want to go over the 5 key tenets of that exercise in today's video. And as you'll see, this is going to tie in a lot of ideas or motifs that we discuss in other videos, and you can kind of think of it as this tying together of sorts. And I'd implore that as you kind of go over each of these prongs to check out other videos on our page that dig deeper into the constituent or the particular step of the exercise. So the first of these is defining a business. In the most effective way of selling a business, you must first clearly define what the business is. We break businesses down into people, process, and products. Who are the people? What do they do? What are their roles? What are the processes of the business? Sales, execution, operations. What is the product, service, or offering of the company? Why is it special? Number 2 is understanding the landscape. The old way of selling businesses, a lot of times people just threw the business out into the world and said, hey, figure it out to the acquiring audience. In the new way of selling a business, you must go out and understand the landscape, both of what you have and what the world wants. And so looking at specifically at this step, the company that we're representing, we want to define a company on 3 prongs, not just fundamentals, not just revenue and EBITDA, but that is obviously an important consideration, but access, what end market, customer base, demographic, geographic focus does the company have, and capabilities. What do they do that's special? What's unique? What's proprietary? What is the durable competitive advantage of the business? And so defining a company on fundamentals, access, and capabilities allows you to really understand the ecosystem of the particular business. Now, prong number 3 of selling a business in what we think is the new effective way of selling a business is don't educate people on things that they're either A, not asking to be educated about, or B, already know. Therefore, if it's a 100-page overview or confidential information memorandum for a business, don't spend 80 pages of it telling a large company in an industry about their industry that they already know. If they're interested in evaluating the business that you are representing for sale, that's what they want to know about. They want to know about, again, people, process, products, fundamentals, access, capabilities, sales, fulfillment, operations for your business. They don't need to know that the cumulative average growth rate of the pharmaceutical industry is expected to be X% a year for the next 50 years. They probably wrote the research. They don't need you to tell them that. So if part of the exercise is doing things, part of the exercise is also not doing things. And we say allocate the effort to the things they actually want to know about, which is the company that we represent, which is the company for sale, not about the industry that they're already a far larger participant in. Now, the next step of selling a business in a more effective manner is understanding the ecosystem of the acquirer. So if, again, we define the company we're representing from a fundamentals, access, and capabilities perspective, we want to look at the market and say, who are the participants, what is their access, what are their capabilities, and where is it missing? Again, we always want to define, and again, we've said it in multiple videos, our clients, the companies we're representing, as the missing puzzle piece to the larger organizations, to the private equity acquirers, to whomever it is as the counterparty of an acquisition. And in order to do that most effectively, you have to, A, define the puzzle piece that you have, if you will, the access and capabilities of the companies you're representing, also the size of the revenues and EBITDA, and then look at the outside world and define them the same way. And if you can see the holes, if you will, in different people's portfolios or mappings of the industry, product, geography, then if you can see similarly for your company, you can see where the best matches are to be made. And this leads into number 5 of facilitating a proactive, not reactive process. The old way of selling a company, particularly in this $1 to $100 million transaction size, has always been taking all of the information in a root canal of information for a company, throwing it out to a mailing list of 10,000 people and praying for the phone to ring. It's effectively hanging a shingle on a company and hoping that someone wants to buy it. And the new way of selling a business, it's about thoughtful research about who the acquirer should be, about what it is that you're actually selling, and proactively reaching out to all of these parties and facilitating the exercise. By doing it this way, you undeniably, and we can say from proof of selling $1 billion worth of companies, will get better results. The prices will be higher. The structures will be more favorable. The transition times for ownership or executives will be more clearly defined, and the stakeholders, whether that's employees, community, etc., will be treated better. And so, to recap the 5 prongs of what we deem as the new way of selling a business, the effective way of selling a business, they are A, defining or crystallizing what your company is. And that goes to people, process, and product. Then, understanding the ecosystem of your company. Again, fundamentals, access, and capabilities. What is it truly that you have, both from a micro perspective of looking at the company to a macro perspective of looking at where it sits in its respective ecosystem. Number 3 is don't educate the world on things they're not asking to be educated on, or they know better than you do. Number 4, positioning a company correctly, or understanding the ecosystem of the acquirer base of what is their access, what are their capabilities, what's the size of those businesses. If you can match, again, the puzzle that you are placing a business into with the shape of the piece you have, you will know who's going to value it most. And lastly, it's facilitating a proactive, not reactive exercise. Going out there and iterating, having the dialogues, reaching out by whatever means is necessary to have the dialogues with the best counterparties. Again, not blanket emailing 10,000 people, but targeted outreach to say 200 parties for a particular opportunity. That's what yields results. And so while there are elements of the old way of doing business in this world that find their way into the new way, this is the way that drives results. Proactive, research-driven, understanding what you have, understanding how you're positioning it, and doing this all in a thoughtful, deliberate, proactive manner, as opposed to just throwing something out and hoping for someone to call. That's how results get generated, and that is what we deem the new way of selling a business. Hope the week's getting off to a good start for everyone. Keep pushing forward. God bless. We'll see everyone next time.